I know that when you look at the week, you say to yourself, okay, what can I do different this week to improve upon what I did last week? And it all boils down to, I guess, discipline, having the discipline to do better. And then of course, we got to wait for the right setups where the odds are in our favor. Uh, I've got a slide in here tonight that's pretty interesting from a standpoint of the general market in August. A little surprising when I show it to you, and I'll cover that. I spent a lot of work over the weekend on SPX. I'm really focused on it because I do believe it might be a simple solution. After saying that, I'll tell you, it's one of the hardest markets I ever had to figure out. And I've been trading for 40 something years, but I think I got it figured out. And I'll share some of that with you tonight. Also, our schedule, we're planning on being with you every day of the week next week at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? 11 o'clock. And anyway, I think that it's just pretty interesting because I think that it's a pretty what I would call interesting market considering where we are. We've got a lot of outside news. It's probably influenced us a little bit. I guess that'd be the U.S. position on the Ukraine-Russia conflict, and there'll be some news about that tomorrow. Okay, so we got to pay attention to that. But other than that, this week I was looking at the news. Not a whole lot of news. There's some earnings though that are interesting, and the Fed minutes will be coming out. So you got a couple of things like that happening this week. But let me go around the horn if I can. How many people here are going to attend the 11 o'clock meeting tomorrow? I'm just giving me sort of a feel for those people that come to the 11 o'clock. Oh, yeah, we always, we record it, and it's in my YouTube channel. It's in my YouTube channel. You can go watch it in YouTube if you had to miss it, okay? Buck says he'll never miss it. Now, good, good. A lot of people here are going to be there, and that's good. And, I think that's great. So, talked to a client today. He was a little bit under the weather, but we had a great conversation of just about what we're doing here with at 11 o'clock, how much he enjoys it, and how he believes he's seeing a lot smarter people because of it. And I thought about what he said, and I think he's right. I think we're seeing people getting a lot more education, knowing that every day at 11 o'clock we're going to focus on the market. So, in general, the market's bullish for the month of August. It went up last week, made record highs, and then towards the end of the week, it sort of gave it up a little bit, came down, but it never really broke the trend. It just, it came down, which was a little disappointing there at the end of the week that it sell off that way, but that's what happened. The tech stocks made highs, and then they reversed, and so that was sort of interesting to watch. And so I think Bitcoin did the same thing. Everything went up, and then they started pulling back going into Friday. And that was sort of the story of the week. But I hope everybody's doing great. I plan on making as much money as possible this week as my goal is every week. So thank you for being here. Let's get going. Join my YouTube channel. Join T-Buzz TV. That's where in the morning I'll post my pivot number and let you know what's happening there. There's risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, a little bit more, I would call expertise involved in finding the right opportunity, the right time, and in the right area to get into the market. Okay, I'll try to help you with that. All right, here's what we got going tomorrow, and it's a pretty good day. We got 11 o'clock. We'll kick off our Monday with 11 o'clock train and trade. 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we got our, I call it Futures First. Pretty excited about Futures First because that has turned into a real good way for you to take advantage of the futures market, even if you don't trade futures, but into the stock market, Futures First Education. I have a special tomorrow night. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow during Train and Trade. Connect the Dots Tuesday, as we always do on Tuesday at 10:45. 11 o'clock, we have Train on Trade. Wednesday, we got 11 o'clock Train and Trade. Wednesday night, we got Wednesday on the Web. Thursday, I've got my final class, master class on XSP and SPX. That's this Thursday. And then, of course, Train and Trade again at 11. Friday, Train and Trade, and Wednesday wrap up. So you got a couple times there that you can come and get some education and find out what's going on. I think Train and Trade, with me tying it into T-Buzz Talk and Trade, a Telegram channel, I think it's really turned it into a real popular place to go pick up a nice time trade each day. There's one there, and we find it, and we'll take it. So I'm gonna have Jonathan put together some stats on that tomorrow. It's pretty impressive, I think, just to be part of that at 11 o'clock when it does set up. That's next week's schedule. Any questions about next week's schedule? I will probably add a couple extra events for certain strategies, but I'll probably try to do that tomorrow after I have a chance to talk with the team on that. All right, Train and Trade Monday through Friday in the month of August at 11. That's when we'll be doing it. You got notice, be there. Yeah, Buck said he's here tonight. The Train and Trade sessions are superb. The team gets together there, and we really put on a fine show at 11 o'clock if you make it. This week's education, Monday, we're going to talk about using Monday's numbers. I like to watch the market a lot on Monday, and I'm teaching you now how to take those numbers and transition into Tuesday, which I call trade day. And I think if you get repetition on that, everybody here will be a better trader. I know it made me one. So that's our education tomorrow on Train and Trade. Tuesday, we're going to talk about how to use my two-bar strategy to find out early movers. This is a simple approach I've developed to be able to tell where you are to put your dollars on Tuesday. And it just simplifies things for you, my two-bar strategy. That's on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have tactics used for trading credit spreads. I like to do credit spreads on Wednesday, especially since I'm now using my T-Buzz Talk and Trade with shortened time frames Friday. Selling premium with a couple days out is a wonderful way to grow your account if you got the right technique, right ticker, and all that. So we'll talk about that on Wednesday. How many people here are interested in that subject? If you knew on Wednesday you could put a trade on, get out on Friday, and call it a day. How many people would like that? I'm going to educate on that on Wednesday, so don't miss Wednesday. That's a good one. Thursday is all about the SPX on Thursday and my plans going forward on Thursday. Absolutely. All about SPX on Thursday. And when I say SPX, I'm also including XSP. Okay? That's on Thursday. Friday, we're going into, this is another thing I'm going to teach. When you get to the last of the month, the last 5 days of the month, you got to have a good plan. You can tell a lot where you started, what's happened, and what the finish is going to look like. I'll show you some of the telltale signs on Friday. That's another can't miss session there on Friday at 11 o'clock. That's what we've got as education this week, and I think you're going to love it. Seven Sisters update, everything is stronger than garlic. Look at that market up 8.94%. NASDAQ's up 12. Dow's moved off 3s, up 5. DAX is 22. Gold is 27.68. Not bad. Crude is getting weaker. Did you see crude sold off again tonight in Sunday night trading? Bonds have to go. Write this number down. I've said it. I guess I've said this number for about 2.5 months. The long bond needs to get above 115 and stay above 115. 115 is the pivot. There's a lot of different ways to get that pivot, but they all come up as 115 is the pivot for bonds. That's what we're waiting on, for lower interest rates and things to ease on that front. Now, this is something I did. I thought it was interesting. I went through these markets and I said, okay, using the criteria, how does the market open and how does it close? In the 11 trading days of August, 11 trading days, the E-mini has been up 7 days and down 4. The NASDAQ has been up 8 and down 3. Notice the QQQ in the SPY, which is related to the E-mini and NASDAQ, is about 6 to 5. The TQQ is about 6 to 5. And I put a stock here that we've got into a couple times. It's been up 9 days and down 2. Again, using the criteria where it opened at and where it closed. Now look at crude oil. Crude oil has only been up 2 days, open to close, and down 9. So I'm on to something here for identifying our next big trade, because if you think about it, I'd rather be trading 9 and 2, wouldn't you? Or 2 and 9 if I'm short. It sort of illustrates to you the power of the method when you see this. Now, does this make sense to everybody? I know I put it together the first time I showed it to you, but this is another way of looking at the current market. Give me some feedback on this. If you see it and you say to yourself, maybe this sort of explains why, a little tougher during August than it was during June and July when you see those kind of numbers. I'll keep this up the rest of the month, have Jonathan do it, and we'll just keep reviewing it. Phil, that's a good question. He says, how come the futures are better than the ETF? Maybe they're leading us a little bit. Maybe they're leading us a little bit, if that makes any sense. Which means, yeah, FP's got it right. This is a way to run a horse race by days. It came to me today when I was trying to figure out with where the market was, why it seems a little bit more difficult to me. Does it seem more difficult to you watching the kind of trends we have? Okay. Yeah, I thought this sort of explained it to me too. All right, the 10 tickers, here's my 10 tickers. I always put this out on Sunday night. It's something I started about 2 years ago. We found it works pretty good. So I'm gonna keep doing it as long as it's working. Notice I've got QQQ needs to get above 585.55, SPY above 647.55, Meta above 797.55, Uber above 95.11, D-Dog less than 119.40 goes lower. The diamond, which is your Dow, needs to get above 452.55. NVIDIA needs to pop above 185.55. Palantir above 190. Palantir above 190. Hood above 117.55, and I put one there to QQQ, thinking the opposite would have to get below 567, 567.40 to turn the market down. Anyway, these are good tickers for the week. I would take it, I would set alerts on it on your computer and on your trading platform, and I would be alert if one of these tickers went off, and then I would focus on the reference bar you're into when it did go off. Any questions about my 10 tickers? Any questions? I've given you a lot of stuff I think is pretty good to use. If it sinks in, it'll make you money. Probabilities for the week: strong Monday, Tuesday, weak Wednesday, Thursday. Remember, Wednesday we get the Fed minutes. Keep that in the back of your mind. And Friday it comes back strong. So we could come up, settle, and then come back up at the end of Thursday into Friday. Key news and earnings. You got Monday. You got the housing market index. And I think people are going to pay attention to this. You know, housing market right now, and I've talked to a lot of people, sort of in the doldrums, okay? We need interest rates to be cut, I think, to spark it there. Now this, I'm curious about Palo Alto. Cybersecurity, I might have mentioned how I got violated on that, and that's a difficult thing when that happens. Palo Alto, be watching that one. Tuesday, you got housing starts and building, staying with that theme at 8:30 in the morning. Earnings, you got Home Depot. I like to watch Home Depot. You know, we got a hurricane building out there. It'd be fun to watch Home Depot. It's really hadn't done much, but I always like to watch it around earnings. Medtronic and XPeng, some other ones we can watch. Wednesday, you got the FOMC minutes. That comes out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Mortgage applications, got that. The theme is housing this week. Keep your eye on housing stocks. Earnings, Target, always fun to watch in the morning. Lowe's, Analog Devices, TJX, Baidu on Wednesday. And you got Walmart also this week. There it is on Thursday there, William. Walmart, Workday, Intuit, Zoom, and Ross Stores on Thursday. You got initial jobless claims Thursday morning. Pretty well organized what old Adam did tonight. I like this. Friday, what do we got? We got Powell is going to give a talk out of Jackson Hole at 10. It's going to be interesting to hear what he's got to say. You got to keep that in the back of your mind. And you got BJ Wholesale Club. Is anybody here a member of BJ's? I am. I went out there today, got my gasoline, and they're a lot cheaper than everybody else for gasoline. I'll give them credit for that. Very cheap. Five things to watch next week. Monday, you got the Tuesday handoff. You know, Monday writes the draft, Tuesday edits it. If Monday expands that range on heavy volume and breadth, that is the point that it becomes trade day. We'll be ready. We keep the numbers and we'll be ready to go. Leadership, breadth, and rotation quality. We'll watch what happens there. See if there's a shift in money going from one sector to another. But I believe that this is something that we are in that time of month that we got to look at that as we go forward. Volatility on Thursday. Price is the movie. Volatility is the soundtrack. comparing the average of the range of the first hour to the prior weeks. Now, that's an interesting comparison. I'll do that. I need to do that. Okay? And find out exactly where the premium time is each day. That's a good way to do it. I like that. All right, SPX. This is what everybody's following. If you got higher highs, the market will trade higher. The timing windows, all that around European close and the early afternoon setup window and the close and stretch. SPX. Now, I want to talk a little bit about SPX and XSP. This is such a tremendous market. It deserves a lot of our time and focus. This is the big one that everybody here, if you can learn what I've learned and use some simple entries and exits, I think there is a real gold mine at the end of the tunnel. Now, SPX and XSP are both option traded contracts. They're both financially settled to cash. One SPX option controls the full value of the SPX. It's the big one, controls a lot of money. One option contract. The mini contract, I like to use the mini for option premium collection. I've got a strategy there, about 1/10 the size of the SPX. Now, let me ask a question. Who here has ever traded SPX or XSP? Give me some feedback here if you've ever traded those two, SPX or XSP. Just say, yes, I've traded. Okay. Okay. Trading hours are 9:30 to 4:15. Now, keep in mind, if you got the same day expiration, they stop at 4. Okay, you got to remember that. SPX is the cash index. The ES futures will trade at a premium. Right now, it's about a 20-point premium on the futures over the SPX. SPX trades during cash market hours. The futures are trading tonight around the clock. Okay? Now, this is where our goal is. If I could show you, this is a question I got for you. If I could show you how to target $140 off a $2 option and have a 70% win rate doing 2 contracts, look at the map. Everybody see that? And I call a cycle of trading 10 trades. How many people would be interested in something like that if I put it together for you? Yeah, I'm sort of interested in it too. And it's taken a lot of time to get here. I went through a lot of different times, a lot of different entries, a lot of different exits, but I think I've got the heart of what I'm trying to do here. And that's a pretty good deal, isn't it? That's a pretty good deal. And this is where I'm headed. That's why I'm talking a lot about it. Our master class is on Thursday. If you're not a member, you can join the master class, get the recording, and study it. They tell me class number 1 might have been uniquely fantastic. If you want to join there, dtitrader.com/masterclass. I think we'll do that Thursday. So you got time to get in there and watch it trade. Okay? That's on Thursday. Now, here's what I'm interested in. If I put this together, where I did 2 live trades each week, I'm thinking Tuesday and Thursday with an XSP premium capture trade tied in there. If this is something that you would sign up for or be interested, put your name, no obligation, put your name, your email, and phone in the chat. it will give me an idea to keep pursuing this because I do think that I could lead you there if you're interested. Yeah, just put your name and email and phone number in there. I might take 100 people and do a beta class of it, maybe kicking it off sometime in September, but doing a lot of trades leading up to that. So, where you understand what I'm talking about. I would come in about 9:45 to 10:30, set it up on Tuesday and Thursday for you, show you how to do it. You could do it every day, but give you that expertise there to get you across that 70% profit line, so to speak. It's got me going. So put your name and email if you got any idea you might be interested. Adam will be do it. Well, Jim, do the math. It's worth more than that. Absolutely. Yeah, I've got a lot of people here saying they want me to do it. Adam, you see all these people? That's a lot of people that wants me to do this. So I guess I'm gonna put some time in it, and we're gonna do it. Let me give everybody a chance to get their name in the hat because I will limit it to 100 if I do it. Okay? It'll be a lot more than just a trading because if I sink my teeth in this sucker, you know how I am. And by the way, just off the top of your head, anybody know anybody that was 92% accurate in May and 100% accurate in June and 86% accurate in July? Do y'all know anybody like that? All we got to do is be 70% accurate on this sucker, and we got us a pretty good play. Yeah, yeah. I tell you, it's a hard market to trade. I won't be. I got to tell you, but I think I got it boiled down to that you can risk about $200 and knock it out. What do we have here at DTI that makes it so much easier to do stuff like this? It's the tools we developed over the years. Yeah, let me go back to that win rate and show you what I'm talking about. This is the plan. Before I go there, let me go back here and show that to you. I'm saying that we got to be 70% accurate. We can only lose $250 three times, right? And the cycle, and I call a trade cycle 10 trades, $1,210. Everybody understand the math on that? That's the way I build it. Just want you to see that. Let it sink in. Anyway, I think we did. Let's talk a little bit about T-Buzz Talk and Trade. Everybody loves the fact I've tied it into Train and Trade to keep up with these trades. I'll have Jonathan put it together for you. Okay. It will teach you everything that we do at 11 o'clock will be tracked in there. I taught directly to you on this one, starting as early as 5 in the morning, going as late at 10 at night. How many people enjoy the layout that is done each morning in TNT? How many people enjoy that layout? Yep, it's pretty cool, isn't it? That's how I do my day. I'll get up in the morning, I go through, and I will look at the overnight action. I'll figure out where my pivot number is. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff, isn't it? Then we move to opportunity. We do a lot of TQQ in here, don't we? In the morning. All throughout the day, throughout the night, I will be posting in there. Here's a typical day. There's the overnight view. I take a snapshot of what happened, and I look and I say, okay, what are the trends? Where is the money to be made? Tesla's moving on this day. Maybe it's in my Magic 5. Amazon's moving on this day. Maybe it's my Magic 5. Berkshire's moving on this day. My magic tickers, I give pivot numbers. That was on suggestion of one of the students. I said, yeah, I can do that. And we put that in there. Here I got a couple income trades, NVDW and PLTW. I got TQQ, there it is at 92.55. Went to 97 off that trade. MU 120 went to 125. This is some good stuff right here. The magic tickers. Daily pivot, I'll give it in the morning, and I think it's pretty good to have that magic ticker when you start. News that matters, I circle the globe and print this. This tells me where Wall Street's looking. Insights, this is for Bitcoin made its high. I said it's going to make a high. Oil's moving lower. It's about 67 when that was posted. It's at now 61.80. That's a pretty good move. I try to give you trades that have trends attached to it. The huge bonus is TQQ trading. I look at it every morning to try to find it. I said the TQQ is a buy above 90.55. Use a $1 stop. Simple, straightforward. This is pretty good, isn't it, when you think about it? That's pretty good when you think about it. I don't think anybody in T&Q's paid for it. I think I charged you $200, and by the end of the week, you said, "Hey, I'm on scholarship." Start of every day. I got Chuck Crow in here providing research bar analysis on the reference bars around the clock. There it is. You compare those two, and you got the numbers to make your money. I love it. And then we have a report like in the morning with our daily rundown to sum it all. Okay? Look what Deborah typed in. I love it when you post a TQQ on TNT in the morning. Somebody copy and paste that. Let everybody see how valuable it is to know the direction early like that. Get paid and down the road you go. Typed out that way. That's the way it looks. There's an Uber trade we did. That's an income trade we did. It's at 94 now. I guess we had the trend right. All that. Give the ticker, what to do, where to get out, all that, option criteria. It's all in there. Now, if you got Telegram, you go right into onboarding, get in there. Tonight, you'll be there in the morning. I trade stock. I trade long calls, long puts. I do debit option spreads, credit option spreads. And now, added to this, we're tracking what we do in train and trade. People love that. When the opportunity is there, I'll let you know. Here's everything you'll get for $200 a month. Anybody can be there. See if it's made to be a trader. You'll know after 30 days with me in here. Get the morning market direction. How many people think their results are better when they got the day's direction in your pocket early before it even starts? That's a question I got for you. If I tell you tomorrow the market's going higher above a certain number, you think that might help you make money tomorrow? I think it'd be crazy if it didn't, not unless you thought I was wrong. But then there's a lot of people, we call it in the graveyard, okay, that went the other way. My pre-market checklist and watch list is the Magic 5. We have bonus classes every now and then when I got a different subject I want to talk. We concentrate on the reference bars, income bonus trades, plus the TQQ trade. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT. Get in there. $200. Cancel anytime. You'll never cancel once you sign up. There it is, folks. TNT. Let me answer any questions anybody has. You came tonight. I hope I covered enough. But, folks, we're looking at $200. That's right. $200 for 30 days of everything. If you make train and trade, it makes sense to be a TNT member. Makes sense to be one if you're not. What are my thoughts on MU? Well, let me tell you my thoughts on MU. Let me look at my notes. Let me do that in a second. MU, I got it over here. That's what I did all weekend. Check all these prices where I'll be ready. Can't wait till the last second. MU needs to go above 128.60 to go long. John Reynolds just says one of my top programs. Thank you, John, for saying that. Yeah, that's MU. Any other questions? Deborah, would you say that's a true statement? Anybody in TNT's on scholarship with me? I think that's easy to say. Nobody ever leaves once they come in. They must be doing pretty good. Monica says TNT is a real-time education trading service wrapped into one program. $200 per month. Cancel if you like. You will not cancel, Monica. Here's one. John says, of all times, bro, TNT's top of top. Well, people tell me when I'm meeting face-to-face at one of my small classes, and they will tell me, Tom, you got to get everybody in TNT. I forget to ask you to join. So I told Adam Knight, let's ask people before this week starts to come into TNT, especially tying into train and trade. That's a big bonus, isn't it? Deborah says my win rate's over 90%. I don't know about, that's pretty good. That's real good. Thanks, Deborah, for letting me know. Any questions at all about our week? I hope you're there too, Jimmy. Yeah, Adam, will you, Mary Ann wants to sign up for one of my classes in face-to-face. Will you, Mary Ann, put your name and email in here and we'll have somebody call you, but he'll post the dates. We've got a September class coming up. Got a September class coming up. Lynn, I don't think so. Let me deal with that on Wednesday. Once we get the inventory information on crude, I think we're fine. There's the classes. There's the class. Who's coming in September? Just tell me real quick if you're coming in September. I know we had several people signed up for it. Deborah signed up for it. Sure, David, sure. Oh, got a bunch of people gonna be there. Yep, everything's cool. I'm gonna have Jonathan recap everything for everybody tomorrow on train and trade. All right, Marianne wants to come in December. Adam, will you make sure somebody gets a hold of her, gets that set up for her? Monica, you typing pretty good for somebody driving down the highway. All right, y'all have a great night. I think I enjoyed doing this about as good as anything. And guess what? When will you hear from me again? 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'll be posting my day and the pivot number. So as I always say, I'll see you on the flip side.